Hi guys, this is Vitaly with AFT Dispatch and A2C Logistics, and in today's video, I'd like to speak with you about what's coming over the next 60 days in trucking. But first, roll the intro. Welcome back. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you to please like the video, be sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a single release of our videos, where every Friday we're talking about something that could benefit you in your trucking businesses, in your trucking careers, as well as cover the loads we've successfully booked for our customers, consisting of lease owner operators and carriers operating under their own MC authorities, running under our truck dispatch services. As always, guys, big thank you for all the likes you provided in all the previous videos. Please do keep them coming. And let's talk about some of the things that are coming up in trucking over the next 60 days. I know a lot of other outlets are talking about these things, and we actually covered these things prior to knowing who's going to be the future president-elect and what policy changes that would bring in over the next 4 years. Then we made a video. Again, I'll leave cards, for all the stuff. 2 weeks ago, we made a video. It went absolutely bonkers, tons of views. Thank you for that. Lots of likes. The one before that. And it was always talking about this topic that generated a lot of comments, which made me think it seems to me that a lot of folks just don't really understand what's coming over the next 60 days, how that's going to be different from what we've seen, that 60-day period, and what's to come afterwards. So let's go ahead and try to kind of unpack that. Now, what will happen, and what I talked about in the previous video from 2 weeks ago, is that companies will begin stocking up before tariffs kick in. Now, we talked about the possibility of that happening because we know they want to do a baseline tariff as well as different types of tariffs for certain countries or for certain types of products or raw materials or manufacturing that happens overseas. That will obviously have an inflationary effect, but an indirect inflationary effect. We'll come back to that in just a little bit. So ultimately, companies will want to lock in their pricing, which will drive a lot more freight. Markets will see a short-term spike in freight rates, tonnage, availability. All right. Now tariffs, they generally rebuild domestic manufacturing. That's something we've used in the past and long time ago, I think early 1900s in the U.S. history, successfully without income tax. But we'll talk about that as well. But generally what they do is they rebuild domestic manufacturing. They create more jobs. For us, they create more freight. And they ultimately create a stronger economy. Now, tariffs, they don't, as mentioned earlier, they don't directly cause inflation. And I know that's one question that had come up in, or one comment that was definitely coming up in the comment section for those videos. And that's a lot of the topics that are covered in other videos from other folks out there talking about tariffs bringing on inflation. Tariffs don't directly cause inflation. However, what does is Federal Reserve policies and income tax. Those two things absolutely do. So it's not going to be necessarily from tariffs. Tariffs are different from taxes. Now, using tariffs, we were able to build an actual surplus without having personal income tax, and that was the pre-16th Amendment, which actually is the entry of the federal tax, which basically said, here's a tax that's going to be outside of each state and different jurisdictions, and it won't matter based what the census data says. So that was about, early 1900s, like 1913, I believe is when 16th Amendment was ratified. And you guys can, check that as well. But haven't really been able to successfully do that. Now, Trump did use tariffs back in 2018 with great success in the steel and aluminum business, and he brought that business back stateside. I think he's planning to do the same exact thing. All of that's going to all benefit the trucking companies, ultimately carriers, lease on owner operators, general rates, especially if fuel goes down. All of these things are going to be beneficial. So it has been done in recent history, and it has been done in long history, long ago. It worked both times without any changes to income tax and things like that. In fact, we can probably expect tax cuts, further, deeper tax cuts under the Trump administration. Furthermore, short-term pain for long-term gain is something that truckers have been used to. You're willing to do certain things as long as you know that prosperity is just around the corner, and that trucking is known for that. Now, what's going to happen is that you'll want to be looking for opportunities during this transition. You want to be able to take advantage of hot markets, of cheaper fuel, and reposition yourself and stuff your bags, because things are going to change after that first 2 months, over the next 2 months. And once he gets into office, January 20th. So keep that in mind. And there will be a lessening of this effect. The way it works is that it's going to be very expensive and painful at the beginning, but it has an opposite effect. So it will actually go down. So it becomes less expensive and less painful and actually more beneficial as time goes on. How much time this will take for the American consumer to start to feel the benefit of this and for the trucking industry to actually see an uptick after the 60 days is unknown, yet to be seen. So we'll have to definitely follow through on this. Now, there were also some folks talking about, hey, Elon Musk doesn't have the very best, track record. X and Twitter, they're not profitable companies. Here's the thing. X was actually, or Twitter back in those days under Jack, before Elon came in, was almost never profitable in the first place. There was a couple of years that had some glimpses and had a long time to do it. For Elon to come in and cut out like 80% of the workforce there and still have an operating company, believe me, in time, it will be profitable because his track record actually proves basically proves results take time. And that's what's going to happen with Twitter and X as well. And that's what's going to happen with our government as they begin to cut out and uproot some of these deep systems that are just nothing more than money sucks that are costing the American taxpayer in the long run. So what I would say is this, hopefully that answers some of your questions, but ultimately I would say truckers, prepare for these changes. Save your money, don't spend it, adapt, be flexible. Position yourself for this shift to domestic production. Ride out that wave as well. It's going to be painful at first after these upcoming 60 days. In January. Hopefully things go well and he gets the seat at the big table. And if not, we'll make more videos around that time. Ultimately, truckers are very, very resilient. We know that. We've seen that over the last 2.5 years. I would say maximize your freight opportunities now. And plan for future growth. Don't just survive. Make it a good thing. So would love to hear from you guys in the comment section below. How do you feel about this? Do you agree? Do you disagree? And what do you think is coming over the next 2 months? Would love for me to hear from you in the comment section below. If you haven't done so, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I'm going to switch over the camera. We'll look over the loads we book for our customers. Very good numbers. Definitely stick around for that. And I'll see you in just a moment. Welcome back. Let's take a look at some of these loads. Guys, this week, another good mix. Vans, got a reefer, got a team, got a flatbed. Really good mix. Numbers are really, really impressive. I hope this continues. Let's get started with Eddie pulling a dry van coming out of Woodland, Washington to Sparks, Nevada. It's a 40,000 pound load of FAK, 589 loaded miles for $1,900. Got him $323 per loaded mile. Then right out of Sparks, Nevada, 0 deadhead, took a 1-pick, 3-dropper to Tangent, Oregon, Albany, Oregon, and a final in Jefferson, Oregon. Excellent job. Light load, 26.5 on a weight, plastic containers, 477 loaded miles, booked at $1,800. Got him $377 a loaded mile on that one. Then right out of Portland, Oregon, going to Baker City, Oregon, and a final in Boise, Idaho. 1-pick, 1-drop, 43,000 pounds of dry groceries, 432 loaded miles, booked at $1,300. Got him $301 per loaded mile average. So far, excellent job. Then out of Jerome, Idaho, pulling out to El Paso, Texas. 1-pick, 1-drop, 42,000 pounds of food products, 1,089 loaded miles, booked at $2,650. Got him $243 a loaded mile. Absolutely an incredible job. 7 days on the road, Friday to Friday. Regular dry van, $7,650 in gross, 2,587 loaded miles, only 177 deadhead miles. Ended up getting them $296 a loaded mile and went down to $277 per mile with deadhead included. So I'd say fantastic week for this dry van. Eddie did a great job. Dispatch did a great job. High gross, great net on this one, great average per mile, an excellent job. Next up, we have David, another dry van coming out of Union Gap, Washington. Looks like 1-pick, 3-drop, 2 drops in West Valley here in Utah and 1 in Grantsville, Utah. 25.5 on a load, light load, a stretch film, 721 loaded miles, booked to $1,700. Got him $236 a loaded mile. Then Skull Valley, Utah, coming out to Dickinson, North Dakota. 43.5 on a load of chemical products, non-hazardous materials, 873 loaded miles, booked at $2,700. Got him $309 a loaded mile. Then Richardson, North Dakota to Albertville, Minnesota. 44,000 pound load of dry food ingredients, 471 loaded miles, booked at $1,025. Got him $218 a loaded mile. Finished off strong out of St. Paul, Minnesota, going to Livingston, Alabama. It's a 43.5 load, roll stock. 1,018 loaded miles, booked at $2,300. Got him $226 a loaded mile. An excellent job. David ran for a week, Monday to Monday, $7,725. and gross 3,083 loaded miles, just a measly 87 miles a deadhead. Got him 251 a loaded mile, dropped that to 244 with deadhead included. An absolutely awesome week for this dry van as well. High gross, again, likely a high net and a very good average to boot. Excellent job for both dispatch as well as David. Keep up the great work, guys. Moving on to our reefer. Mike's the driver on this one. 6 days on a road, make some excellent money. It looks like Caledonia, Wisconsin, with a 2-dropper, very light load going to Kansas City, Kansas, and Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. 5,500 pounds in weight, frozen food, baked goods, some bread. Temperature set at -10 continuous on a reefer. 934 loaded miles at $2,800. Gets you $3 on the dot. Then Elk City, Oklahoma to Woodburn, Oregon. A nice long run, 44,000 pounds of hot dogs. It's going to vary between 10 degrees and 33 degrees on the reefer. 1,790 loaded miles booked at $35.77. Got them $2 on the dot. So $3 in, $2 out. An excellent job. Ran for 6 days, Monday to Sunday. Gross $6,377 in gross. Ran 2,224 loaded miles. Only 112 miles in deadhead, probably between Oklahoma City and Elk City there. So you got 234 a loaded mile, and that ended up dropping to 2.25 with deadhead included. An absolutely excellent job. I mean, over $1,000 a day, nothing crazy. Good amount of miles with some really light freight. Mike, excellent job, sir. You're going to have a real good week next week coming out of Oregon with a reefer. Way to go, sir. Moving on to our flatbed team, Yury and Yuri. Absolutely incredible. Two guys with slightly different spelling. Absolutely killing it out there in their flatbed. Bakersfield, California, going to Claremore, Oklahoma. 40,000 pound load of aluminum, 1,477 loaded miles booked at $3,000. Got them just over $2 at $203 per loaded mile. Then McAllister, Oklahoma to Noorsac, Washington. 22.5 load of metallic bins, lots of miles, at 2,176 loaded miles. Booked that at $4,300. Got them just under $2 at $1.98 a loaded mile. And Mount Vernon, Washington, Burbank, California, 45.5 on a load of palletized lumber. No tarping was necessary on this one. An easy one, 1,188 loaded miles. Booked that one at $2,800. Got them $236 a loaded mile. Now these guys are around for 6 days, made an incredible amount of money Saturday to Friday, and made $10,100 in gross in 6 days. Ran 4,841 loaded miles. Only 163 deadhead miles for a flatbed team is absolutely incredible. 209 a loaded mile. Dropped that to 202 with deadhead included. An excellent 6 days for these guys. Way to go. Next, we're going to move on to a dry van solo. James is the driver on this one. Fayetteville, Tennessee. Tennessee going to West Valley City, Utah. 32,000 pound light load of copper wire. 1,715 loaded miles of $2,800. Got him $1.63 coming out of the Tennessee area. Then Clearfield, Utah to Nampa, Idaho. Made up the difference with 35,000 pounds of shelving and brackets. 328 loaded miles at $900. Got him $274 a loaded mile. We're making up the difference. Out of Fruitland, Idaho, took a load to Lewiston, Idaho. It's a 42.5 load of fruit tea. 240 loaded miles on that one, booked at $1,100. Got him an easy $458 a loaded mile. And then finished off strong out of Clarkston, Washington, going to Bismarck, North Dakota. 41,000 pound load of agricultural seed. It was palletized freight, 975 loaded miles, booked at $2,300. Got him $236 a loaded mile. 7 days on a road. James ran Friday to Friday, grossed $7,100 as a regular solo in today's market. An amazing job, 3,258 loaded miles. Only 76 deadhead miles in total between four loads. An excellent job. Ended up getting 218 a loaded mile. Dropped that to just 213 with deadhead included. Very, very good dispatching. A very good week. And definitely very efficient dispatching on the guys. And last but certainly not least, we got Manuel coming out with his drive-in out of Loves Park, Illinois, going to Erlanger, Kentucky. 41.5 load of candy, 428 loaded miles at $1,000. Got him $234 a loaded mile. Then Trenton, Ohio to Houston, Texas, 45.5 load of beer, 1,086 loaded miles at $19.92. Got him $1.83 on that one. Then made up a difference with Port Arthur coming out to Port Arthur, Texas, going Pryor, Oklahoma. It's a 44,000 pound load of paper pulp. It was baled material, 510 loaded miles at 1260. Got them 247 a loaded mile. Then out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, coming out to Bedford, Pennsylvania, light load, 16,000 pounds of glass, 1,075 loaded miles. Booked at $2,100. Got them a nice $1.95 a loaded mile there. Now got some good repositioning. Did a great job with the dispatching Monday to Monday. Gross $6,352 in gross, around 3,099 loaded miles, only 179 deadhead miles. Got them 205 a loaded mile. Dropped that to $1.94 with deadhead included, ending up in Pennsylvania. I think you'll do just fine. An excellent job, Manuel, and everyone else included. Way to go, guys. Welcome back, and thanks for sticking around. Guys, yet again, another good week. Last week was really good, although I did not report on that one, didn't make a video last week with how busy everything has been. The week before that was even better. So we're actually seeing improvements, consistent improvements. We are seeing some positive indicators in the market as well. Hopefully that continues. And that is as I expect the market will continue to develop over the next 2 months. So take advantage. Make sure you're not leaving money on the table. We've been doing this for well over a decade. We'd love to be able to help you out. Whether you have your own MC authority, you are your own carrier, or you're a leased on owner operator, we work with both kinds. So definitely get in touch with us by calling or texting 801-448-6363. More information is available on our website at aftdispatch.com. Just fill out the appropriate box. We will get in touch with you. It might take a day or two. It might take a little bit, but we will get in touch with you, answer any and all your questions, and if it's a right fit, we'll get you started. So again, 801-448-6363. Call or text that number. Or website aftdispatch.com. And until next week, guys, stay healthy, be wealthy. Take care.